You know what it is we're doing here. What do you want, me to recap the plot? Like, there's some kind of plot, probably, but you can probably guess as well as I can is what it is. Okay, last time we were here, like, trying to open this door. Let me get right up here. Yep, there we go, and I'm continuing to walk into the door as the puzzle has come up. It seems like he'll do that if you're in the middle of an animation when you're starting the puzzle. Like, if I was like going into a crouching animation when I brought up the puzzle, he would just keep repeatedly crouching. This is good enough, though. Okay, last time I was thinking this is like a food chain puzzle. Like, what eats what? I said fox probably eats hens. Wolf probably eats sheep. Sheep eats grass. What else would they eat, I guess? Rooster? I don't think roosters eat grass, but maybe, like, plants was talking about. Okay, the last one here is like a bird of prey, and I think I aimed it at the fox, right? I was saying I'm not really sure which of these animals the bird would eat, but it seems it's sheep. I don't know, it seems big, right? It seems like it's a bit too big for the hawk. Jacob's very surprised at what's going on here. I don't know why we can continue to, like, have some sort of semi-control over the character in cutscenes. I'm happy we do, though. Okay, this is open. There is nothing down there. Come on. It's solid rock. And a cutscene. There was always some madness and love, but there's always some reason in madness. But that's directly talk. Okay, I was going to say, do any of these quotes talk about the game itself? That is clearly directly talking about this game, talking about finding some kind of reason in madness. There is some kind of reason for why all this is happening. Anyway, we went down the mausoleum. As you can clearly see, the staircase we went down does not look like the place we went down because we're in like in a lab. I guess it's a secret lab that you access through the graveyard for. I don't know. Why would you need to do that? I mean, I guess I shouldn't complain because, of course, we do know that Umbrella has been up to such antics many times over the course of their history. But this is not Umbrella. This is, what, Chronopolis is the name of the organization, I guess? Anyway, we're down here. We're finding a syringe, half full. There are doors. Can open a door. What could possibly be in here, do you think? Did you guess nothing? Because you'd be right.
The gate is locked.
All right. There's like actually nothing down here except one half-full syringe. I mean, health is good. We want health, so we're going to take it. I'm not going to say no to health. Just seems like, you know, like everything else in this game, it's just a large area that seems like there should be something more inside. And, you know I probably shouldn't be mentioning that so many times. It's just it keeps coming up. Should be careful. The ground has collapsed. All right. So let's get this coin. All right. And what's behind this door? It's nothing. It's stuck. Okay. So no reason for this to be here. All right. Clearly, the evil medical experiments have been going on in this place. The cruelties that, I guess, Jacob's parents were trying to... Okay, so earlier on, Elaine said over the radio that the people who run this island inflicted cruelties on Elaine... I almost said Elaine again. Why am I saying that? On Claire and her mother, right? That's what she said over the radio, I believe. And from what... Did I just see the floor above me? Hold on. Yeah, that's like the floor above me. From what... From what we learned from Mr. Richard in the graveyard and the note, it seems that it's Jacob's parents who ran this island. So Jacob's parents inflicted cruelties on Claire and her parents. How did these two get married? I think we should find out how these two met and end up getting married, because this seems... I'm not following this.
Subject 46. Day 1. Subject seems to have normal behavior since the infusion of 25 milliliters Zorlifexin. followed by drowsiness with memory and concentration disturbance. Day 2, mild eye disorder with diffuse moderate skin eruptions. Biochemical image with unusual rise in liver enzymes. Poor hematological results with septic shock similarities. Day 3, image of compressive pericarditis with shadow in the right half thorax. Surgery for pleural effusion straining. I will send a sample for laboratory testing. The subject sleeps for the second day. Intubation for the support of respiratory function. Day 4, clinical picture incompatible with any living organism. Microbiological blood culture and pleural infusion sample positive to more than 100 bacteria in just the first 24 hours. Absence of normal image of all vital functions. No scientific answer can be given as to why the subject is still alive. Day 5. The subject has died. Repeating the process on the next subject. Subject 47. End of report. Dr. Barner.
All right, again, evil science, but whatever it is they're trying to do here, the subject died. I mean, they can just say that they made the monsters on this island from people. I mean, I don't think that's really going to surprise any one of us. If that's what it's I assume it's what it's leading to. That Jacob's parents were responsible for the creation of these monsters? I guess? Hello? What's going on over there? How you doing? Alright, pistol ammo? I don't think there's anything else in here, so goodbye. I'll see you later. Also, the line reading on that recording, that was like the first instance of passable voice acting in this game, I think. I mean, granted, it was like a very unemotional, clinical line reading, which is what that particular reading would have called for, and not really acting, but still, you could have had that in like a professional video game, I think. Hi, how you doing? How's things? Well, less good now that he doesn't have a head, I suppose. Alright, that was very frightening. He busted through that. Want to see something even more frightening? So, like, right here, the camera goes blurry for some reason. That kind of hurts. Oh, it faded. There we go. This kind of hurts my eyes for some reason. It's hard to look at. I don't know why it does it. Anyway. More evil medical stuff. And shotgun shells. I guess considering how dangerous these patients might be, considering you're creating killer monsters, it probably makes sense to have ammo lying around. That probably checks out. I think that's the only thing in there. There's just like oh, hold on. Sorry, I didn't mean to ignore you. I was just pointing out there's just like an arm lying on this gurney. That's weird, right? Look at that. Look, it's gone back there. Hold on. Whoop. I missed. Hold on. There you go. There's just like a leg floating here. Yeah. It's like most of it's wiggling around, but like the stump is attached to some point in midair. I don't want to waste a shotgun shell on it to see what would happen. It would probably go nuts like that one hanging body we saw. Alright, 3 ways we can go. Let's explore. Oh, we're on the other side of that window. So I guess that enemy we just killed was the one we saw looking through it before, I suppose. They haven't done the radioactivity gimmick a whole lot in this game. Like, I have 2 of these. There have been some areas where I had to run through, a radioactive zone, and my meter would go up. It's not that difficult to just get out of there, though, before it goes all the way up, though, Hold on.
Subject 47. Day 1. It seems that Subject 47 is acting normal after the infusion of 150 milliliters of Zorlifexin, followed by drowsiness with memory and concentration disturbance. Day 2. Rapid rise of the white blood cells. The subject is able to follow instructions, but is very hostile against familiar faces and the other prisoners after stimulation. Day 3. Subject is dead. However, the bone marrow continues to produce peripheral blood. Body temperature at 48 degrees Celsius, 6 hours after test. Day 4. The subject came back abruptly. Loss of pre-death behavior. The subject is aggressive towards everyone and does not comply with suggestions. Downgrading the status of the experiment to the category failure. End of report. Dr. Barner.
So this is the next experiment. This one also died, but then came back to life, and then was very aggressive towards everyone. I mean, I could probably just describe any of the creatures we've seen. I would assume there must be something that is causing them to multiply, because surely, like, if this happened with one of them, they wouldn't just keep doing the same experiment over and over, and every time, uh-oh, this one's a killer monster too, better move on to the next, until the island is overrun with killer monsters. That wouldn't really make a whole lot of sense. There must be some way that they're replicating. Let's check out the books. What's the library? We got Lost Knowledge, we got Millennium, Special People? This is all kind of pixelated. This looks like... Bangladesh? This looks like a bookshelf in a PS1 game. Which, you know, I kind of like that aesthetic. It just doesn't really fit in this game. I can't tell what that says.
It's locked.
Door's jammed. Why do they have so many fetuses in containers? You know, it would be weird for there to be one, but they have a lot of them just lying around. Why do they need so many? Okay, here's a puzzle. Of course, it is spattered with... No, I was about to say it's spattered with blood. It isn't, though. It isn't. Those are just red, like, metal panels. Okay, what is this? Well, it's Sudoku. You might be able to guess that. This actually is not a very difficult version of it, which is good, because we don't want to spend too much time on the puzzles in this game. Okay, how did I solve this one? Well, first of all, I just went across the horizontal for... Oh, I should mention which numbers we have available to. What are available to us? We have 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then back to 0. Okay, we don't have 6 through 9. So the way I solved this one was in this middle row, I went 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. Okay, 5s have now lit up. I then tried going down this middle column. So to get 12, well, if we did this, we have, what, 9? So I have to push a couple of them up to 3. Actually, push 3 of them up to 3. So I'll do that with the highest numbers, 11, 10, 9. Okay, 12 is now solved. Then I went to the horizontal row for 11. And let's see, I do this. Now... Okay, that is 11. No problem. What I need then went to row number 10, and then for this, the 3 higher numbers I made 2, and the lower one I made 1. That made 10. Then I went to actually let's do horizontal row 9. For this, I went to let's see, the higher numbers I made 2. Actually, no. I clicked on the wrong one. That's row 5. No, not that one. This one. Right. And then that lit up 9. Then row 7. Did this. And then by doing that, it solved almost all the columns except 9, which we're going to increase to 2. And there we go. It's solved. It's actually not a difficult version of it. That hasn't happened before. Why is the camera there? Okay, the door opened. Something I want to point out. I'm not going to do it. But the first time I solve this, it takes a few seconds for the door to open. So I clicked the action button on the door again, and what that did is it brought me back into the Sudoku game, except it was already solved, so I couldn't interact with it, and even though it says escape to close, that doesn't work. So the first time I solved this, I ended up being stuck on that screen, not being able to get out of it. Had to reload. Had to reload is what happened. Okay, here we are. In another room. Oh, we have a desk. Welcome home. Who are we welcoming? Did someone just recently come? I don't know why that would be there. Like, if you have that there, then someone just recently came back home. You wouldn't keep that up for a long time. But that's clearly been there for decades, right? Why would someone just keep that up there? That doesn't make sense. A thing in this game doesn't make sense. Rall State University to Holly Elaine Hughes, Doctor of Arts, I'm sorry. 1987. We have not heard the name Holly Hughes before. I assume we probably will not. That's probably just a placeholder. Hard to see what's on these other ones. I'm going to assume there's no one in this game named Holly Hughes. We'll see if I'm right about that. Ooh, what's this? Smoking cigarettes. Someone was here recently. Top secret. An open book. We got some important stuff here. We got the diary. In fact, it's so important, maybe I want another one. No, I want more secrets. Give me more. Yeah. Stuff me full of secrets. Maybe one more diary for the road. Yes, look at all these diaries. I have so many. It's quite heavy and filled with important stuff. Ooh, I want to read it. No, sorry. Sorry, no. Can't do that. I can't read whatever... I guess not. I look at my documents. It's not there. I don't know what's in that. It's not letting me read it. That... Okay. Oh, something there. Got some more potassium iodate. And some shotgun shells. Let's head on in here. I like how the camera moves the body parts out of the way. Oh, it didn't do it this time. Oh. Well, here's our second boss. Oh yeah, the body parts. Okay, so the first time I did this, the body parts were actually physically moved out of the way as the camera was coming through. Like the camera was a physical object. It didn't happen this time, and I'm kind of sad about that. All right, second boss. Let's check him out. Maybe this is Subject 47, the guy who came back to life and was very hostile. I'm just assuming that since, we read that report that mentioned him. Uh-oh. Oh, the pain! Oh, I'm in pain. I'm dead. I was careless. Yes, it happened this time. We all have our own hobbies. We all have things that make us happy. You may think it's weird he's just standing here taking a buzzsaw to some meat and organs. I mean, but look at what that arm's doing. But I'm here playing Crying Is Not Enough, so what does that say about me? Am I any better than this guy? Oh man, look, oh, I'm kind of glad I died and got to see this, because that's going crazy. Okay, so it seems like he will flinch from every other shotgun blast. He's slow, but don't let him get too close. Like, I might think I have more space to work with than I actually do. Okay, that's it. And that's like really the only risk of fighting him, is that you might think you can get closer than you actually can, and of course you want to get close to use the shotgun, so it does the most damage. Alright, I'm actually... Whoa, what? Did I do that, or did it just knock this over? So I'm kind of glad that I died, so we could see this happening right here. Keep in mind, I did not do anything to make this happen. This just started happening. Well, there's a whole lot of meat lying around. Here's what he was chopping up. Here's like a trough full of blood and body parts, I guess. So I think I'm trying to see if there's something visible, because I think I picked something up right here, around in here. Maybe it wasn't here, but there's something in this room I need. Oh, the blood just drained. Is there anything in there that I can see that I need to get? I can't actually tell if the blood draining was supposed to happen. Oh, it was supposed to happen, or if it was a glitch. Got a locker key. All right. It seems like a small locker key. It does seem like it. And of course, our man was a big fan of Cubica because, I mean, who isn't? Really now, who isn't? Here's a dead body with a gun. So this person was not killed by Buzzsaw Man. This person took their own life. At last, I found a way to stop the process, to give an end to any possibility of completion. I have exhausted all the means necessary. I tried to escape many times, but nothing worked. After all my efforts, I ended up here again, to work for the completion of the project. The General is willing to do everything to keep me here. He won't let me go. He threatens me. He knows there is no way to complete the project without me. Unfortunately, I know it too. Goodbye. Sincerely, Dr. Robert. P.S. Dear friend Bana, I'm so sorry to betray your trust. Eventually, you will write all along. In a few seconds, we will meet again. I hope that I will not end up in a dark place where you will not be there. Okay. Dr. Robert could not live on knowing that he worked on this project. Dr. Barner, whose recordings we heard before, is also dead. This Dr. Robert was what is locked? What seems to be... No, crying is not enough. You tell me what seems to be locked. Oh, a locker actually opened. I could interact with that. What is locked? What was I trying to open? The man's skull, maybe? I don't know. But yeah, Dr. Barner was being forced to work on this by the General. And by... Wow. That thing is just whipping things around, isn't it? Just threw the table over here. Dr. Barner was being forced to do this by the General. The General, I assume, was the man from the very beginning of the game in, like, I think a cutscene after we crashed on the island. If you go back and watch that original demo, friend, you'll see Richard talk to someone in an office, and Richard says, "Sir, there's a problem," and then the General says, "Fix it." I assume that's the villain, and that's the only time we've seen him. Man, I'll just leave that to its business. It's the only time we've seen him in our adventure so far. Was that like a creepy noise or something? I don't know what that was. Okay, so we did that. Oh. This door goes back to the prison facility. So I don't want to go through there because that'll induce load times, and you never want to do that. There was one more path we could take. The appearance of Cubica, the unexpected appearances make me laugh every time. Everyone's a big fan of Cubica on this island where they are committing such cruelties. Alright, second boss down. He was very slow, and, you could just stand far away and shoot him. So, really, the Flamethrower Man was a much more difficult boss. Only the damned that deceived Judas shall enter. That's the statue I want in front of my house. And there's like a bowl in front of him. Anyway, this is the mansion that we saw. This gate was locked. We needed some kind of key, except no, we're on the other side now, so we're going to unlock it so we can, go around more easy. So this looks like a house that a mastermind might live in. Maybe even a general, I'm not sure. Except this door needs a key. We don't have a key. Where do we find a key? How do we get in here? What a question. Okay. Just gonna stand in front of this man right here. We have one key. It's this. A locker key. It seems like a small locker key. Alright. We have to talk right now about crying is not enough. I've mentioned previously that this game seems like it really pads things out, maybe just for the sake of making the game longer, because, hey, longer game equals good, short game equals bad, so long game must equal good. Doesn't matter what you pad out your game with. Long is good, right? Long is money worth, long is value. You make long game, you get value of purchase, is what happens. So I'm going to assume that's the only explanation for what it is we're going to do right now. We have a locker key. It seems like a small locker key. There is a locker somewhere that I need to open this with. Where do you think it is? Where would you start looking? Well, you might start looking in the like this evil science place that we just went in, right? Where we fought that boss. We got the key from a like mangled corpse after beating the boss, so probably there's like a locker somewhere in here. You could spend time looking around for that in here, and you'd be wrong. It's not here. There is perhaps one clue as to where we might start looking. I did mention that there is a door that goes back to the prison. There it is. So, like, this would be a hint that, hey, maybe you should go back there. You know, why else is there a door that leads there? And that's a starting point. However, then you might think, maybe I need to search the prison for the locker. Maybe that's where it is. Okay, that would make some kind of sense. Like, maybe we searched this place before. Maybe we found a locker that was locked. Maybe I just don't remember that. Because, you know, it's I've been exploring a lot of this island, so maybe I just don't remember that there was like a locker in this facility. But it's leading me back there, so that's probably where I need to use the key. That would make sense. You know, I would accept that. It's not quite like that. We're going back to the facility, but we're leaving the facility as well. Once it loads. So you remember that from the prison, we can go to the cemetery, and from there to the medical place and that mansion where we were just at. So that's one way you can go, but we just came from there, so it's probably not where we're looking. We're probably going to go the other way, right? We could go outside to that whole large area where the flamethrower boss was, and the airfield, and the docks where there really wasn't anything. And, you know, maybe you start thinking, oh, am I going to have to look around all around there? It's kind of a large area. And I've looked around there before, and I don't really remember I don't really remember a locker. So then that's a problem, you know? Because now you're facing the idea of having to research this large area, and you don't really remember there being a locker anywhere. So now you're thinking, where am I supposed to go now? Well, that is where we're heading. But it gets worse than that. The elevator will kill you, by the way, if I stand underneath it. It's not like a funny death or anything. We just kind of die. I don't really want to spend the time looking at the animation for that and having to reload, so here it is. Here's the elevator. Coming down. We got it. Right here. Head on up. So we're going to go to that little mine area. I'm just refreshing your memory on the areas we've been in, what they look like, and what was in them, because I know there's a chance that maybe as you've been watching this, your brain has been preventing you from retaining these memories as like a self-defense technique, perhaps. Like maybe your brain decided that you were in a better state if you could not remember too much of crying is not enough. I wouldn't blame your brain for doing that. So okay, here's the mine area. Now we're going to be outside. So that way is where Flamethrower Guy, the airfield, all that is in. I would want to remind you at this point, there's no indication or clue as to where this locker key goes. We're going to head back this way. And if you don't remember what this is heading back to the beginning of the game. This is where we passed out from the radiation. Then we woke up in the prison, and that's been sort of our hub area since then. But when we started out on the island, we came from this direction. We're going back there now. Remember the tower with the cable car? I had to get the oil can to put it in the generator. Is there like water just like flying out of there? I guess so. I didn't notice that before. We had to get the oil can to fuel the generator so the cable car would work, so we could get across the gap. Like, that was a thing we did previously. Again, I know that you might not remember, but it happened. Jacob hears you. Jacob doesn't care. There's an enemy right over there. We don't care. We don't care. We're heading back across the gap in the cable car. So it's parts like this where I know that you can say that making games is hard, and that if you have no time or money, that, you know, things go wrong. You're not going to do, you know, your ambitious project is not going to turn out the way you wanted it to. Parts like this, however, just make me think that maybe your design was not all that good to begin with. You might, even if you had all the time and money you wanted, this wasn't going to turn out good, if this was the kind of idea that was being put into it. Alright, this is where we fueled up the cable car. Hi, Cubica. So, this is earlier on in the game. This is around the area where we first encountered monsters. Like that monster. Here's a crashed plane that we passed by earlier. It's an older crashed plane. Not ours. So from there, the site of our helicopter crash, because remember, Jacob and Jacob's mother-in-law crashed on this island. The site of our helicopter crash is up around here. There's like a little hut. I think I got a syringe from there earlier on in the game. I think this is around here is where we started, right? Around here, like in this little area. Oh wait, actually the first enemy might have been encountered somewhere around here, I think. So this is where we entered the island. There's like a path going up there. Oh yeah, there's the first enemy. I guess he respawned. Yeah, that is where we first encountered the first enemy. Alright, let me take a look up here. Oh wait, no, we have been here. This is where I got the gas tank. That's right. Oil tank, I'm sorry. It was definitely labeled as oil tank. That's where I got the oil tank. And then after that, I went to the cable car and fueled it up. I believe it's how that went. Or did I go down there? Man, it's kind of hard to remember now. Anyway, the point is that I want to get past this guy. Oh, there are two of them now. Well, it doesn't really matter. So there's no, I don't think there's any wreckage of the helicopter, but I think this is definitely where we started this game. Oh no, there's the helicopter. It's in the tree. Okay, they did remember that detail. That's the helicopter that we crashed in on. Where did the mother-in-law go? We haven't seen her, like, since that cutscene. She went off because she had business to take care of. Anyway, I'm going the opposite direction that I went in when I arrived on the island. So I don't think I've been this way before. If we go this way, well, there is a Cubica machine. A comforting sight. Now, I was wondering how people works until I opened up and figured out, stay, ha ha ha. Have I been here? I'm not sure.
It's close.
Oh, goodness. Frightening. Let's see. Leave, stay, ha ha ha. Get some of that. Pistol ammo. There's a note. Mary, for your own safety, I cannot tell you what is happening here. They will try to find you. They are watching. They are insane. They're all insane. Even the few left with their minds right, it's a matter of time before they go crazy. All of our savings are in a plastic bag hidden under the fireplace. Take our children and leave. Forgive me for I let you down. Save our beloved children, James. Right? James and Mary. That's obvious reference. That is not what that note says. Okay, there's a box here. Do I want to use the locker key? Stack of 25 silver pieces. I got him. Okay, that is where you use the locker key. You come back here to the beginning of the game and just keep walking past until you get to this house with a small, very forgettable box here that you can open. Now, I don't remember if I was here when I was first playing this, but even if you were, what do you think you would have remembered that there was this small locked box back at this house? It's not a locker. I don't care what the game says. That is not a locker. That is a box. And it is a very far way from where we got that key. And I didn't see any indication on where we were supposed to find that. Oh, man, we're getting all crazy now with the green background. I don't know why we're getting that. So I am just going to say that I feel that there was a definite, I don't know, intention of making you waste time. Because good is better than short. It doesn't really matter how you make the game longer, just make the game longer. It's good. You get a better value for your money, for your purchase, more bang for your buck, I guess? I did see some people... Oh, well, I did badly. I did see some people suggest that maybe the reason for stretching this out was as a means of counteracting Steam's refund policy, which could always be true. I don't know if it is, but that's a possibility. We're playing Crying Is Not Enough. We have the silver pieces. We saw the message in front of the mansion that said that we needed the key, something that betrayed Judas. So we have the silver pieces, the Judas reference. We're going to go back to that statue, and I guess we use that for whatever's going to happen next. And, oh man, at some point, this game just kind of crossed the line to inexcusable. I think I was kind of in a good humor for some of it, but man, why would you do that?